This video was taken while working in the Amazon rainforest village of Nuevo Laredo. The village is located in Peru, at the headwaters of the Amazon River. 105 people live here. The village is built around a large field where children play soccer. Several of the buildings next to the soccer field are schoolhouses. But there were problems that were making the villagers sick. Their drinking water came from what had previously been the somewhat clean Yarapa River. But recently, that river was breached by the more polluted Ucayali River. When that happened, it tainted their main drinking water supply. Typically, one villager a month became so sick that they had to be sent to a hospital because of the unclean water. Their government and other organizations tried to help. In this village, a water system was built to filter river water for drinking. But that system couldn't be sufficiently maintained or supplied. That system stopped working just a few months after being installed. Engineers Without Borders Sonoma County designed a different type of drinking water system for this village, a rainwater catchment system. Rather than trying to treat water that had already been polluted, this system collects clean rainwater using the schoolhouse roof as a water collector. For the tank platform, the engineers used a building technique called rammed earth that used sand and dirt that the villagers were able to collect at the village to save material costs. With funds raised from generous donors, the engineers sent the other needed materials to the village. They then traveled to Peru to work with Amazon Promise and the villagers to build the water system. This is a motion lapse video of building the rainwater drinking system. The first task is to build the water tank platform. So water can flow into the water containers, the tanks have to be mounted at least 2 feet above the ground. The grass is dug out to reach stable dirt, and holes are dug for the posts. One of the few power tools available at the village is a chainsaw, and so that's used for cutting the posts. The rammed earth mix is made up of dirt, sand, and a little cement. That mix is used for both around the supporting posts and for the outer platform walls. Metal sheets are attached to the posts that contain the rammed earth while the walls are being filled and rammed down. Occasional jungle rains threaten to ruin the rammed earth mix, and so tarps are installed up over the site. The outer walls are made of rammed earth, but the center part of the platform is filled with regular dirt treated with white lime to make the dirt stable. The dirt must not have too much clay, and so it's being hauled from the far side of the village where a source of low clay dirt was found. As the walls and the center plug are built up, the last framing wall is installed. Then the walls and the center plug take turns being built up higher one step after another until they reach the height where the cement top will be poured. On day 6, engineer team number 2 arrives. The construction schedule has fallen behind, but our materials expert Steve discovered a closer source of dirt that leafcutter ants had carried and farmed, so it had low levels of clay. That allowed us to catch up on our schedule. When we reached the height where the concrete would be poured, metal rebar was cut, bent, and installed to give additional strength to the concrete. On the 7th day, we mixed and poured the concrete cap. Instead of mixing concrete in wheelbarrows, it was mixed in much larger batches on the sidewalk. During school breaks, the children visit and watch the action. Once the concrete dried sufficiently for a day, then installing the tanks and plumbing starts. Rob and Ben place the 4 water tanks into position and build up the upstream and downstream plumbing connections. First flush diversion traps are built to divert away the initial dirty rainwater and only allow clean water to flow into the tanks. Next, ladders appear for installing the gutters used for catching the rainwater. Gutters and pipes are installed on both sides of the schoolhouse roof. Making sure that the system is protected with fences is important, so the system won't be damaged by foot traffic or by the occasional stray soccer ball. Once the system is completed, the engineers conduct training classes for the village water committee members who will be the ones to operate and maintain the system, and they receive their training certificates. A picture is taken of villagers who worked on the system along with the second engineers teams. We want to thank all of the donors and volunteers who contributed toward this fantastic effort. All the children and adults in this village are much healthier now because of you. Your contributions made this possible. Thank you.